The world is a place so fantastic and complex that there are details and things that 99% of the world population never really thought about. So there's a lot of random curiosity details in the world, and that's exactly what we're going to see in this video today. And believe me, you probably don't know none of it, but before we start it. Hi there, how you doing? I hope you're good. Today is a day of a new video in the channel, so I hope you enjoy the content. In this video we're going to see some random curiosities about random things around the world that you surely didn't know, and probably never thought about. But I really hope you like the video. If you do, please click in the thumbs up button, and also subscribe the channel. I'll be posting 3 videos every week in the channel, so I'd really appreciate if you liked it. But without further ado, let's go to the video. We'll see many random curiosities here, with no specific matters, but about things that you probably never really stood a time thinking about. So, let's start. Do you know why the fireflies shine? They got luciferase enzymes. Enzymes are basically groups of organic substances with extracellular or intracellular activities, which has catalyst functions that act with chemical reactions with oxygen, and in the case of the fireflies these reactions produces bioluminescence, so making these bright lights we see in them. An animal that doesn't drink water? Yes, it exists. Get to know the kangaroo rat. This is a desertic ambient animal, and believe it or not, they can make throughout their entire lives without drinking water. That happens because its metabolism is adapted to this survival, so it lives in deserts. The kidneys of the animal extract about 50% of the water present in the urine to keep producing water. That's obvious. The animal doesn't live 100% without water, but it doesn't need to drink it, cause its metabolism produced the necessary for the animal's survival. The human body has 206 bones, about 80 organs, and between 600 and 650 muscles. One common year has 31.536.000 seconds, making 365 days, while a leap year has 31.622.400 seconds, totalizing 366 days, whereas each day has 86,400 seconds, and a 30 days month has 2.592.000 seconds. The human eye can tell about 7 to 10 millions of colors, both the colors and obviously the shades of each one of them, whereas the human eye has 3 different cone types, so it can identify the colors and its shades, but there are animals that has even more, which can view even more colors than the human being. A pigeon, for example, has 5 cone types, but there are a specific type of shrimp which has 12 different types. Just imagine how beautiful the vision of the animal is. Eagles are animals that owns a defined and sharp vision. Some of the eagles can spot a prey in details from 2 to 3 miles away, what makes them the animal with the best vision in that aspect in the animal kingdom. 3 to 4 minutes is the limit of time that a human being can be without breathing. Like 3 days without drinking water, and about 3 weeks without eating. But obviously that may change from person to person, but that's the average. But please, don't try nothing of these things. The speed of light is about 185 miles per second, while the speed of light is about 350 meters per second. But for you to have an idea how much difference there's between them, let's set an example. In one day in the speed of light, you would be able to travel 16.040.400.000 miles. And in the speed of the sound, that same distance would take 928.800 days. A huge difference, isn't it? Michel Lotito was a Frenchman that used to feed on uneatable things, and that's the reason he got a place in the record book called Guinness Book. How he did that, you ask? Well, he ate a full plane. Of course it was not in one day, but throughout 2 full years, and the plane was a Cessna 150 model with more than 1,000 pounds. Robert Wadlow was considered the tallest man of the history, at least of those who has been documented. He was a North American that had nothing than less 892 feet or 272 meters, but unfortunately he passed away with 22 years old because of the condition he had that made him never stop growing. And the tallest man alive is the Turkish Sultan Qasim, who is 41 years old and has 823 feet of height, 251 meters. And the Indian woman Jodi Am, who is 30 years old and is considered the shortest person of the world with 2 feet of height, 62.8 centimeters. The India is the most populated country in the world in 2024 with an amount of 1,428,000,000 of inhabitants. And the Russia is the biggest country in a matter of size with 6,601,665 square miles. Jean Calment is the person who lived the longest according to the knowing we've got. She was born in February 21st, 1875 in the France and lived up to August 4th of 1997, making it a total of 122 years and 164 days. And the world's oldest person alive that we know about is the Maria Brañas Morera, a North American woman who was born in March 4th of 1907, and she's currently 117 years old. Did you know that, theoretically, the color black is not considered a color? Obviously just in the theory, because it's basically the absence of any color, just like we can see in the space for example, and the color white is the junction of all the colors together. Did you know that a born blind can't see anything? Well, that sounds obvious, I know, but let me explain it better. When you who can see close your eyes, for example, you'll see everything dark, right? So most of the people think that's how the blind peoples live. What could be in the case of somebody who got blind after the birth? But in the case of a born blind, that person can't see anything, absolutely nothing, so there's no that point of seeing everything black of people with that condition. The camels can be about 3 weeks without drinking water. That happens because they can store a lot of water in the body, so using it when the body really needs. But when the camels drinks water, they can drink up to 100 liters of water at once. Impressive, isn't it? The fastest animal of the world is the cheetah, which can run up to 72 miles per hour, but you probably know that already, right? Well, so let's talk about the curiosity. Despite the fact that they can run really fast, they can only run like that for a few seconds because its body spends too much energy for it. What makes the animal's life much harder in the matter of getting food? That is the smaller animals, which usually runs really fast too. Not so much like the cheetah, of course, but for much more time, what results in serious problems in the cheetah's survival, because it's not a heavy and strong animal like the tiger or a lion, for example. Amar Buradi is an Indian man that doesn't lower the arm for over 45 years. In some moment of his life, he decided to raise the arm to never lower it anymore, in a form of a protest to express his wish for the world peace. Of course, the arm already atrophied, so he doesn't need to make force to let the arm up anymore, but just try to imagine the pain he felt in the first months or even years of this protest. Amu Haji was an Indian man who didn't take a bath in over 50 years. He used to say that this lack of bathing protected him of the bacterias and dangers of the world, but one day he decided to take a shower, and that just because of the complaints about the bad smell he had, and after 1 week of the bath he went ill, and ended up passing away. He was 94 years old, and in the end he was really right about it. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world, with 29032, 15 feet of height, 8.849 meters. Did you know there's underwater rivers? Yes, it exists in a place of Yucatan, in Mexico. There's a river inside another one, just like we can see in the photos. It even looks like the SpongeBob cartoon. It happens because of the difference between these waters. One is salty and has more specific features, and the other one is the opposite. Do you know the Turritopsis dohrnii? That's a weird name, I know, but this is a very interesting jellyfish. Being considered the only immortal animal in the nature, in the case nobody kills it, it can live forever. Yes, that's it. When they reach the adulthood, they recycle to the beginning of its life cycle, and that happens again always when they reach the adulthood. Rocky Marciano was an American boxer that never lost a professional fight, fighting 49 fights, and winning all of them. 43 was in a knockout way. And Floyd Mayweather reached the 50 fight as long with the 50 victory in his cartel. Mike Collins has the record of the fastest knockout of the box, in nothing more than 4 seconds of fight. Quick, isn't it? When you stay a long time in the water, like in the sea or a pool for example, your body will start adapting to the environment, and those wrinkles that appears in your fingers are basically ways that your body find to improve the friction in the objects and things in the water, like the walls of a pool for example. Well folks, that's all the random curiosities about the world that you probably didn't know that I got for this video, but now you know them all, right? Well, the most of them is not going to be really useful in your lives, but is still fun to know, don't you think? I hope you enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you can, that would help me a lot. And also subscribe the channel, there's 3 videos every week here. I'm sure you are going to like it. Comment what you thought of the video too. Did you know some of these curiosities already? Comment it. Thanks for your presence in the video, but I'll be going now, so long.